and our calm bodies while we're listening to our stories. Let's read the 3 Bears. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears who lived together in a house of their own in the woods. One of them was a little wee bear. One was a medium-sized bear, and the other was a great big bear. Each of them had a bowl for their porridge. The little wee bear had a little wee bowl. The medium-sized bear had a middle-sized bowl. And the great big bear had a great big bowl. Here's our little bowl and our great big bowl. They each had a chair to sit in. The little wee bear had a little wee chair. The middle-sized bear had a middle-sized chair. And the great big bear had a great big chair. A little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. First, she looked in at the window, and then she peeked through the keyhole. Of course, there was nobody inside. Goldilocks turned the handle of the door. The door was not locked because the 3 bears were trusting bears. They did no one any harm and never thought anyone would harm them. So Goldilocks opened the door and went right in. There was the porridge on the table. It smelled very good. Goldilocks didn't stop to think whose porridge it was. She went straight to it. So Goldilocks is going to eat their food. Is that going to make them happy or angry? If somebody came and ate your food, would it make you happy or angry? First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, but it was too hot. Then she tasted the porridge of the medium-sized bear, but it was too cold. Then she tasted the porridge of the little wee bear. It was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks went into the parlor to see what else she could find. There were 3 chairs. First, she sat down in the chair of the great big bear, but it was too hard. Then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft. Then she sat down in the chair of the little wee bear. It was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she rocked and rocked until the bottom of the chair fell out. Down she went, plump, onto the ground. Goldilocks went into the bedroom where the 3 bears slept. Which size chair do you think you fit in? Goldilocks fits in the little wee chair. Do you think you'll fit in the great big chair, the middle-sized chair, or the little wee chair? Are you big, medium, or small? First, she lay down upon the bed of the great big bear, but it was too high at the head for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but it was too high at the foot for her. Then she lay down upon the bed of the little wee bear. It was neither too high at the head nor too high at the foot, but it was just right. Goldilocks liked it so much that she covered herself up and fell fast asleep. By the time the 3 bears thought their porridge would be cool enough, so they came home for breakfast. Remember, Goldilocks has ate their food, broken their chair, and slept in their bed. How do you think the bears are going to feel? Let's see what they feel when they come in. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the great big bear in his porridge bowl. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the middle-sized bear in her porridge bowl too. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his bowl. "Somebody's been tasting my porridge and has eaten it all up," cried the little bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the parlor. Goldilocks had the cushion crooked in the chair of the great big bear. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had squashed down the cushion in the chair of the middle-sized bear. "Somebody has been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little wee bear looked at his chair. "Somebody's been sitting in my chair and has sat right through it," said the little wee bear in his little wee voice. The three bears went into the bedroom. What are they going to find in the bedroom? Remember, Goldilocks was still asleep. Goldilocks had pulled the pillow of the great big bear out of place. He noticed it first thing. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the great big bear in his great big voice. Goldilocks had pulled the blanket of the middle-sized bear out of place. "Somebody has been lying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then little wee bear looked at his bed. "Somebody has been lying in my bed, and here she is," cried the little wee bear in his little wee voice. This woke Goldilocks up at once. There were the three bears all staring at her. How does Goldilocks feel? She woke up and she had three bears staring at her. How would you feel if you woke up and had three bears staring at you? Let's see, she has. Goldilocks was so frightened that she tumbled out of bed and ran to the open window. Out she jumped, and she ran away as fast as she could, never looking behind her. No one knows what happened to Goldilocks after that. As for the three bears, they never saw her again. Do you think Goldilocks learned her lesson about going into people's houses where she doesn't belong? About taking other people's things? I think she was scared. We'll see. All right, that was The Three Bears by Paul Galdone.